Hi, everybody. Just wanted to give a quick recap here of week two. Great post. Keep up the good work. But a couple things that stood out that I just want to comment on. Like I said, a lot of great things. But early on we were talking about, comfort level and, who's more comfortable and who's not, and things of that nature. I would agree that, it's hard to pinpoint any certain generation of teacher that's going to be best suited to teach technology, or is going to do a better job than others, or who's going to embrace it more than others. Yes, I agree that as kids are growing up, this generation of kids in school right now, when they become teachers, I think it's going to be second nature for them to use technology. But because we're still in an era where younger teachers have had a little bit more technology in school, but it's not embedded as it is today. So, I think that's an interesting concept to look at and think about over time. But it's the idea, someone brings up the idea of time. Time is huge when it comes to learning technology. You got to learn it, the time for PD, the time to play. And that's hard sometimes as teachers, but, that's where we have to go. But the one thing I can always say is don't be afraid to try it and let the students teach you. It's the idea that, okay, we're going to sit there and say we're going to do some type of video production in class. Trust me, the kids know how to do that, at least to shoot it and make it viewable, So don't be afraid if you don't know how to use it. Don't be afraid to let them do it. They'll figure it out. I know that's a hard concept. I mean, that's relinquishing a lot of control of your class. But I've seen it work. It does work. And then it was also brought up, too, about the whole school PD sessions don't really work. I would agree with that. We joke and we talk about differentiating instruction for students and small group and things like that. But when it comes to teachers, and we think we can do full group instruction, and that's not always the case. It's one PD does not fit all. So that's something for people to consider. I know as teachers we know that, and sometimes administrators don't always get there. But and then the last comment I want to make is about the internet safety. It's still, no matter how many times I teach this class, it's still amazing to see how little internet safety is really taught in schools across Illinois. We put in, as I have in instructor updates, and the Illinois rules for teaching internet safety that's required every year. And I know it's fairly loose on how much has to be taught and things of that nature, but the internet safety policy, are we going to get around that first day of school sign off? Probably not, type deal. But as teachers and buildings, administrators, things of that nature, we need to enforce it. It's not something that's going to teach itself. And now I'm not saying teachers and schools need to be fully responsible for teaching internet safety. I do believe in shouldering responsibility back to the parents for a lot of that. Don't get me wrong there. But as educators, especially as we're using technology, is to keep reinforcing every time we do a technology project, is to reinforce what are those skills, what are those rules of internet safety that we need to follow in terms of citing sources, or finding legitimate information, or looking for inappropriate material on the internet that if you see something, report it, things of that nature. So we need to keep reinforcing it while we're teaching throughout the year. So those are just some thoughts, and like I said, keep up the good work, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.